Hey there, everyone. It has been a while. I'm sorry. The content has slowed down a little bit recently. Just we've had so many events and so many shows, medieval festivals, strongman competitions and shows, athletes prepping for events. We have the Royal Show coming up, which is going to be massive. We've got three sort of event days. We have Nicole Greenwich, the second strongest woman on earth, coming to Adelaide to do a massive stone lift. We have the Friday where we will have sort of South Australia's best strength athletes from strength sports all coming together to do a stone challenge or a stone lifting challenge. And then on the Saturday we have the professional pro show record breakers, the Tria Prima Royal Adelaide Show record breakers, which will be caber toss and weight over the bar. So just getting all this together has been massive. Bringing these guys and girls over, having like the level of athletes we've got coming is just amazing. So just prepping and getting that all together has been super busy, but it kind of leads into the thing I wanted to chat about today was recovery between competitions. I've actually got one of my athletes, Brooke Pritchard, who I assume lots of people would know, the top female drug-free deadlifter in the country, one of the top strong women in the country, drug-free. She's been doing back-to-back competitions the last little bit. She just did the ASA Invitational in Queensland at their Royal Show and won the overall, which was just amazing. She's just done the deadlift championships in ACT, where she won the silver dollar deadlift with a 315, and then she pulled a axle deadlift from just above or just below the knee, 335 kilos at 82k body weight. So she's done phenomenal. And then she leaves and goes to Brisbane for ASA Nationals the following weekend. And then she has SA Strongest Woman, and she's going to be at the Royal Show. So she's backing up one event to another. And we were thinking about having a chat about it. I might actually have a chat with her as a separate thing, just to chat to some of my athletes. But the way we've sort of worked through it with coaching-wise is aiming to understand what is the goal for each competition and where the ultimate goal is at the end. So for someone like Brooke, she took her first competition. So the one at in Queensland was her first national level competition. So we obviously had prepped for it. We'd prepped for all of these competitions one after another. So she just went into that and wanted to build through it, see where she was at, then come into the deadlift one and same thing and build up and ramp herself up to nationals. And then we have a little bit of time after with the Royal Show being a little bit of a down because it's only one event into South Australia's Strongest Woman. And it was one of those things where as a coach and as an athlete, when I was doing back-to-back competitions, if I was doing a weightlifting comp and then a powerlifting one and a strongman one, it was really about how we did our recovery and how you write your programming around that. So we sort of had to work in a way that as a drug-free athlete, I wasn't giving her too much training in her program where it risks injury or hurting her. But also making sure we still get the most out of every training session we do, and just understanding that periodizing building phase, but also being totally flexible with programming. So we kind of went into it with a building idea of getting to a certain point and getting our strength levels up as high as we possibly can pre-event, the first event, and getting her nice and strong, building up the events that she knows she's doing, but also she is so strong in the deadlift. That was one of the events we didn't have to push overly hard at because she's so strong in it anyway. So we were mainly aiming to keep a maintenance phase of deadlift, with a slight push here and there, but maintenance work to not overdo her for a deadlift, especially because that's the lift that takes so long to recover for your body. So, with building this program, it was like, okay, we're going to work on the technical stuff, the maintenance work there. Okay, where did she feel uncomfortable? So this event, and we put a lot of time into the technical side, the mental side of that, the cueing side of it, my experience as an athlete doing those exercises and passing on that advice. Because I think one of the biggest things people don't get their head around with is the recovery between those sessions, but also understanding it's not about going heavy all the time. So this was more about just trying to find a system that would work, of not overdoing it, building up the strength to a certain point, and then understanding the technical nuances of what you were doing. In regards, obviously, with that, that comes into the recovery side of working out which sessions to go heavy. not doing heavy sessions one after another, not doing deadlift and squat a day after each other, or strongman or strongwoman and then deadlifting the next day, like trying to work everything in the system. So my biggest piece of advice to anyone that is sort of backing up competitions is get to a point of understanding of what your ultimate goal is in each one of those competitions, where your strengths and weaknesses are in those competitions, and spend the time on those weaknesses and aiming to maintain through that. It's no different to like AFL season or sporting season. I make this totally clear when I'm talking to any athletes, gymnastics, circus, all those guys who train in an off season in a way and then come into show or performance season if they're doing like a month of shows in another country. You want to build up your strength levels to a certain point, so when you're traveling, your maintenance stuff is just what you do in the gym. You're not going in the gym and trying to squat 200 kilos when you've got an acrobatic show that night, because the last thing you want to do is blow your knee out in the gym, because it just makes no sense. It's pointless. So it's just understanding strengths and weaknesses, getting a coach who understands the sports and the nuances and the small things about it, and then just trying to make sure and understand that going heavy all the time isn't necessarily the most important thing. Cueing technical little differences in the lifts that you do in the competition, learning those things, and then also learning the mindset side of it too, and making sure you do all the right things: stretching, mobility, ice baths, massage, chiro, physio. The list goes on, and making sure you're doing those regularly. So, like I said, this is just a little video. I think I'm going to get Brooke on and do one of these. Hey, I think I might do one where we do a bit of a comparison when I was doing competitions and backing them up, and how I used to do it and how I've put that into her style of program, but also how she feels. It's been a long time since I've done a competition, and I think maybe we'll bring Brooke on and she can have a bit of a chat about it, especially maybe when she's done all these competitions in a row. We can then just pick her brain and just see how she goes, maybe the things she was doing outside of what we were chatting about of recovery. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of idea of how to go between competitions. If this is something more you want to learn about, shoot me a message in the DM below. I'm going to put my coaching Instagram in the comments or in the blurb section, and shoot out and reach out. I'd love to go into it in depth more, exactly how I do it, but hopefully this has given you a few little tips, smarts and stuff like that for the future. So again, I'd like to say thank you for all the questions I keep getting. It's an absolute joy to talk about being a drug-free athlete, and hopefully giving some advice to the other drug-free athletes out there. As I say all along from the get-go, this isn't me coming out and down-talking or up-talking anyone. Everyone has a choice in life. They can do whatever they want to do, and it's just up to them totally. So never ever take this as one of those situations where it's just a guy trying to up-talk something, because like I said, I've been in the trenches in the non-drug-free sport, and I've been in the trenches in a drug-free sport. And, it's one of those things where I've met wonderful people in all aspects of life. So, like I said, this is just reaching out to the drug-free guys, hopefully giving some advice to them in their journey and the way they go about things. So looking forward to the next video. Hopefully one on the Olympics is coming soon, because everyone would like to, hear about my thoughts on weightlifting at the Olympics and just the horrible commentary and some of the other just crap things that happen. So I'm going to leave you by saying stay well, stay strong, stay healthy. Looking forward to seeing a ton of people at the Royal Adelaide show, hopefully. Hopefully see you sooner rather than later. Cheers.